because I had a lot of fun making the last one. And I found this fun tier list that was not just the Metallica albums, but every single original song. So, as you can see, there's actually like, in terms of how long the band's been around, this is all of their original songs. That's not a lot. So, I don't think it should take too long. But anyway, I found this tier list and I actually liked the categories that they had. They had masterpiece, perfect, great, good, neutral, boring, bad, terrible, disaster, and never heard. So, I like that it's so, it's got detail, is what I'm trying to say, because trying to fit all of these songs into just like A, B, C, D, E, or whatever, not E, F. Anyway, so I think we will go just in order of album, and just kind of go down the line here, and we will see what we come up with. So the first song we're going to start with is Hit the Lights. It's a good song. It's not my favorite song in the world by Metallica, but it's alright. The Four Horsemen. I want to put this one in neutral just because I like Mechanics by Megadeth better. And for those of you who don't know, Mechanics and the Four Horsemen are essentially the same song with a few differences, because Dave Mustaine was in Metallica and left, or got fired, I should say. And when he got fired from Metallica, he took a lot of the music that he wrote for Metallica with him, and one of those being the Four Horsemen. And he asked Metallica, he was like, hey, don't use my music, and they were like, okay, and then they did anyway. So the Mechanics was kind of like a fuck you to Metallica, but I just, 40-year-old drama aside, I like Mechanics better. Not to say that the Four Horsemen is bad, but it's like, I'm not going to listen to it. I'd rather listen to Mechanics. Motor Breath is good. Nothing really much to say. Jump in the Fire is great. I think that riff is super catchy, and it gets stuck in my head whenever I hear it. Plus the solo at the very end, where he's like tapping the strings, is pretty cool. At least that's what I think he's doing. I'm not a guitar player, so I wouldn't know. Anesthesia. You know, people go crazy over the Pulling Teeth Anesthesia because of Cliff Burton's, like, of his bass solo, but I'm not interested in that track. I never understood all the hype about it. Just not interested. Whiplash, amazing song, one of the best songs on the album. Acting like a maniac. Whiplash. Phantom Lord. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, unless I feel like I need to explain anything. But putting things in the good category, I think you can kind of get the point. No Remorse. It's great. Another catchy one. It has a nice hook. Again, these two get stuck in my head all the time. Seek and Destroy. I mean, the riff on Seek and Destroy is classic. Just that entire song is amazing. Metal Militia. I'm neutral on it. As you can see, I'm not like Kill 'Em All. It's not my favorite album. I like the album, but it's not my favorite album. We'll get into things I'm a bit more familiar with Ride the Lightning. Fight Fire with Fire is really good. That's like some classic thrash sounding shit right there. Like Metallica has their own sound even for thrash, but that's Fight Fire with Fire is like holy shit. Ride the Lightning's good. It's not my favorite. Obviously, For Whom the Bell Tolls is going to be in the masterpiece section. Not that I listen to the song all the time, but that opening bass line and just the bells and it's one of the most recognizable songs, I think, especially for people who enjoy this kind of music. I think Rome the Bell Tolls is a masterpiece. Fade to Black, I think, is boring. I know a lot of people love Fade to Black, and not to say it's a bad song, but I've heard it so many times, and it's not like a song that I can hear over and over again that sounds that I think will like excite me. It doesn't excite me. It's not until the end, like when it kind of picks up a little bit at the end in the riff. That's the only thing that kind of gets me. But also, the lyrics are very sad, and they are not to say that a lot of metal songs aren't sad, but it's presented in a sad way. So I don't know. I don't like listening to sad music for the most part. Trapped Under Ice, very underrated song. Completely. So is Escape. No, Escape's not perfect. Escape is good. Escape is a lot more poppy and melodic than the rest of the songs on the album, but they do it in like a really cool, like it's just a cool song. I don't know how else to explain it. Creeping Death. I wish I could put a category. Oh, I could. I guess technically in the category above masterpiece for Creeping Death. Creeping Death, I think, is one of, if not my favorite Metallica song. Like I could listen to that song on loop constantly, and I would be perfectly fine with it. Oh God, I love that song. And the lyrics are really unique in the story the song is telling, on top of the fact that the riff's killer. Anyway, Call of Cthulhu. It's good. It's an instrumental. It's a good instrumental. What's next? We've got Master of Puppets next. Hold on, I need another sip of water. Alright. Battery. I mean, that's pretty easy. Battery's probably one of their hardest songs they've ever written. Besides, where is it? Dyer's Eve down here. Master of Puppets. You know, it's a good song. It's a really good song, but I just think it's regarded as one of Metallica's best songs, but I think there are so many other songs that deserve more recognition than Master of Puppets, or at least the same amount of recognition as Master of Puppets. I love Master of Puppets, but I think if you're really going to appreciate Metallica's music, you have to go deeper. And I think there's some songs on this album that, I mean, I hate using the terms better or worse because it's all up to opinion, right? But I think there's more. I'm getting tongue-tied. There's more than Master of Puppets on Master of Puppets and in Metallica's discography, and I think a lot of people get hung up on this song, and that kind of makes me irk it a little bit. Plus, I've heard it a million times. The thing that should not be, it's pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie. It's not my favorite. It's like I could probably listen to it like once a month. Sanitarium it's good. I mean, it's not my favorite song on the album. I can get pretty bored of it. I have to be in the mood to listen to that one. Disposable Heroes, amazing song. Disposable Heroes is on par with Master of Puppets. It's catchy. Its lyrics are still relevant today. It's fast. It's hard. It's good stuff. Left for Messiah. It's a great song. Underrated song on that album. It's a bit slower, but as we know from Metallica's later stuff, that slow doesn't mean bad. Orion. I'm neutral on it. I mean, a lot of people love this instrumental, but I'm just not big on instrumentals, to be honest. I can appreciate them musically, but I wouldn't listen to them in my free time for the most part. Like, I recognize that Orion is a good song, and a lot of people think it's a fantastic instrumental. and a real piece of work, and I understand that. But in my personal opinion, like, I wouldn't listen to it that often. Damage Inc. Neutral on that one too. It's okay. Again, that's not. I recognize it's a good song and a lot of people love it, but it's just not my favorite thing. Alright, so we're on to the last thrash album by Metallica. Blackened, easy. I mean, I think a lot of people would put Blackened on there. And Justice for All, I think is boring. It's like almost 10 minutes long, and there's not a lot of variation within the song. So, once you hit the 5-minute mark, you kind of get the point, except it goes on for another 5 minutes. I have the Beholder, I'm neutral on. Not a good song, not a bad song, I don't know. It's just like, again, it's one I could skip. One of my favorite songs. I mean, obviously, these are probably my favorite songs by Metallica, but one is, if you guys gotta watch Metallica perform one live at the, I think it was the 1989 Grammys. It's one of the best performances of this song, or any song you'll ever see. One is such a good, I can't find other words to say than it's just a good song, but just trust me. Short Straw, amazing song. I don't really know what else to say besides, but I'd like the song. Harvester of Sorrow. Neutral on it. It's kind of no, I like it better than Injustice for All. It's just, I get bored of it easy too. Frayed Ends of Sanity is, I think, an underrated song on the album. I think it's catchy. I think it slaps, for lack of a better term. To Live Is To Die. I'm just not a fan, even for instrumentals. Just not a fan. And Dyer's Eve. Yeah, Dyer's Eve is a really, really good song. It's funny, in my tier list video of albums, I don't think I ranked Injustice as high as any of these other albums yet. There's 3 songs in Masterpiece here, but if you can see down here that there's more songs in these categories than any of the other albums. Very divisive album, that one there. Speaking of divisive albums, let's get on to the Black Album. Enter Sandman. It's good. It's a good song. It's good. I still, to this day, and if I was born in the 1990s, I still don't know why this was like Metallica's big radio hit. I think there's so many better songs on the album. I understand, like I said in my last video, this album bridged the gap between people that don't listen to metal music to people that listen to metal music. And I can appreciate it for that. But Enter Sandman, I don't understand it. I like the song. It's an American classic, but I don't know. Sad but true. It's great. Riff is hard. It's slow. It's catchy. Holier Than Thou picks up the speed a little bit. I'll put it in great. I like Holier Than Thou a lot. I like the messaging of the song. The riff is pretty sweet. The Unforgiven, I think, is boring. Wherever I May Roam, I think, is boring. Don't Tread on Me is a good song. I like Don't Tread on Me a lot. Through the Never is a really good song. Nothing Else Matters. I don't want to say the first real ballad, but because that would be Fade to Black. But I'm really conflicted on this song. It's a great song. I can't put it in the perfect category, but it's a really good song, and it's an acoustic ballad until the very end. So at least I think it's acoustic. Maybe it's not. Um, but I think James opening up and kind of toning down the metal a little bit, at least till the end of the song, and I think his song is about his wife, but obviously him and his wife are getting divorced, so that's kind of sad news, especially when talking about this song. But I think it really shows the diversity of Metallica, but I wouldn't put it with any of these songs. Of Wolf and Man is an underrated song, in my opinion. I love that song. It's a song about being a werewolf. I don't know where they got that idea from. The God That Failed, I think, is the best song on the album. I really do. It's groovy. It's catchy. I mean, the lyrics to the song are very sad. It's about James Hetfield's mom dying. But it's got everything you could want in a song, especially that one that's like metal, but hard rock. I don't know. I think that's one of the best songs on the album. I don't know why it's overlooked so often. My Friend Misery, actually, okay, My Friend Misery is a great song. I'm Gonna Move Holier Than Thou and Sad But True appear, because now putting them in line with the rest of these songs, I realize that these are probably my favorite songs on the album. Struggle Within, I think, is boring. Wow, I might need to reevaluate my tier list after looking at this. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a Metallica super fan, so anything that I put into any of these categories, even if it's down into the disaster category, like, I still love it for the most part. Alright, now we're on to the controversial stuff. This is the good stuff right here. This is where people are gonna be like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Ain't My Bitch. Great song. 2x4. Great song. The House That Jack Built is kind of boring, I think. Until It Sleeps is a great song. With the exception of Lars having nipple rings in the music video of this song. I don't like that. Also, just for context, Load is when Metallica cut their hair and started trying to be more of a mainstream hard rock band instead of a metal band, and this is when a lot of people really started to hate them. But time has treated Load pretty well. I know a lot of people that love this album. King Nothing, perfect song. That's probably my favorite song on the album. And it's just, I think, on my Apple Music replay a few years ago, I think I had listened to it 100 plus times. I think it's a really, really good album. Or song, rather, sorry. Hero of the Day. It's a great song. I like this one just because it's soft and hard, soft and hard. It has a lot of depth to it, I feel like. Bleeding Me is a good song. Cure, kind of boring. Poor Twisted Me is pretty boring. Wasting My Hate is a good song. Mama Said is a bad song. So, Mama Said is like a country, ballad. It's really bizarre. I don't understand. I'm pretty neutral on The Thorn Within. Ronnie, I think, is a good song. The Outlaw Torn is a very, very good song. I said that King Nothing was my favorite song on the album, but I forgot that I haven't listened to this song or this album in a long time, and The Outlaw Torn is I don't even know how to describe the song. to someone that's never heard it or doesn't like Metallica, should I just assume you guys listen to Metallica if you're watching this video, so I don't have to explain all of my decisions? Um, okay, so now we're on to Reload. So, Fuel. I don't think anyone thinks that's a Fuel is like through all of these like softer songs like the Outlaw Torn or the Fuel just kind of like pops and it's like a return to all of the classic thrash stuff. It's really bizarre that was on the album. Like I probably I wouldn't have guessed that they would have had a song that fast paced. The Memory Remains is a very good song. That might just be my opinion, but I think it's catchy and it's melodic, and it gets stuck in my head all the time. I don't really like when they play it live though, because James does this weird thing with his voice where he like drops his voice down a few keys or whatever. I don't get it. There's gonna get some songs put in the never heard category, but I've heard all of these songs, but I haven't heard them in such a long time that I don't think I could comment on them. So we're gonna do Devil's Dance goes here. Yeah, I think I haven't heard these songs in such a long time. I don't think I could comment on them. So the Unforgiven Dirt 2 I think is a pretty good song. It's not bad. Carpe Diem Baby is boring. Bad Seed. It's kind of boring. Prince Charming is boring. Fixer's pretty good. Sorry, I'm starting to blow through this, but this is actually taking a bit longer than I would have anticipated. Now we're on to their worst album. So I'm gonna do this for you real quick. We're gonna do, I think Frantic is a great song. I think Saint Anger is a great song. I think Dirty Window is a good song. I cannot listen to Some Kind of Monster. Invisible Kid is easily the worst song I've ever heard by Metallica. I mean, I really think I can just, I just do not like this album, except for these three songs. This album. Actually, Some Kind of Monster can go down here, because it's just way too long. There's not much that I need to say about this album other than this. So, now we have Death Magnetic. That Was Just Your Life. Oh, wait, I grabbed into the line. What the fuck? That Was Just Your Life. I think is a great song. I think the riff on it is really catchy and really nice. I kind of like that James got that like that fast-paced vocal cadence going on. I like that a lot. And the line is pretty good. Nothing too special about it. Broken, Beaten, and Scarred can go in the same category. The Day That Never Comes, I think, is pretty great. All Nightmare Long goes in the masterpiece section. This is one of the best songs that they've ever made, and I don't know why they haven't tried to emulate All Nightmare Long a bit more than the other songs that they've made, because if they could produce an entire album that was similar to this, and just speed and how hardcore it was, or hardcore I use with parentheses because obviously Metallica is a mainstream metal band, so it wasn't really hardcore, but I mean in terms of the rest of their discography. Cyanide is a bad song, I think, not my favorite. The Unforgiven 3 is boring. I didn't need a third one, and I didn't even need a second one. Judas Kiss is kind of boring. Suicide and Redemption, it's boring. My Apocalypse is okay. But, I mean, these songs here make up for the rest of this. Alright, one-dimensional, in my opinion. Atlas Rise is a great song. The Atlas Rise kind of reminds me more of like the load reload era, but it's pretty catchy. Now That We're Dead, it's a good song. It's kind of like a kind of similar analysis with Load and Reload. Moth into Flame, amazing song. I really like Moth into Flame. That one gave me a lot of hope for Metallica's future if they choose to keep making music, because they can still write fast-paced songs. Dream No More is perfect. That song is like straight out of the Black Album. With how groovy and catchy it is. Halo on Fire is good. It's kind of a weird song. Spit Out the Bone is another masterpiece, I think. I really like Spit Out the Bone. It's a same analysis with Moth into Flame. It's like, I think that proves that they still have the ability to shred and make songs that could rival their earlier stuff. I mean, am I saying Spit Out the Bone is better than any of these? No. I just realized I don't have anything from Master of Puppets and Masterpiece. That's a bit of a shame. I'm gonna move battery up here. I think that, yeah, okay. Confusion. I mean, all of these songs I just think are boring, really. That was my problem with the album. It was like the first half of the album was good, and then the second half I just felt was kind of lacking. But let's do a final little look over of this tier list. See if there's anything I want to change. I don't think so, actually. I think that this is pretty accurate to my actual feelings. So this is it. No, I didn't mean to do that. No, I didn't mean to do that either. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Where would you have put some songs that I ranked in spots that you don't agree with? Again, also, if you feel so inclined to drop some of your favorite bands down below, and I can check them out and see if I want to do a tier list on them, or if I already know them, or whatever. I'm more than happy to do something like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a bit longer than I would have thought, so sorry if I breezed through it. I can always explain myself better in the comments section if you have any questions. But other than that, guys, thank you for sticking around. Like the video, comment the video, you know the drill. Smack that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next one. Later.